You're listening to the Blind Android Users podcast.
Welcome to the Spotlight segment. This is a segment dedicated to interviews of developers or interesting happenings in the world of Android. And now for this episode, here's your Spotlight. We move on to Spotlight 2, and of course, we're talking about the ONN device from Walmart that John unboxed last week. Today, though, we're talking about some of the pitfalls and some of the strengths of this device. And here's John to tell us about the ONN device.
Hello. Today I'm going to be demonstrating the ONN 4K Pro Google TV streaming box and assistant speaker, kind of. So I'll actually start by demonstrating the speaker capabilities, and then I'll show you the Google TV portion. I'm going to be saying okay followed by the word Google a lot in this demonstration, so I'm going to fix that somehow in editing so that it's not triggering your speakers at home. So the first thing I'm going to say about the speaker portion of this device is it's loud, and I have not figured out how to adjust the volume. I've tried voice commands, I've tried touching the device on the top to see if there were sensors. I've even gone in the Google Home app, and when I try to adjust the volume there, it says this device does not support volume adjustment. So this is the volume it's going to be at. Like I said, I have not figured out how to change it. And you cannot use this thing as a speaker. So if you're planning on it, it's not going to work. If you tell it to play a podcast or music, something that's just audio, it will not play the audio through its internal speaker. It will turn on your television and play it through the television. In fact, most things it plays through the television, even simple things like asking for the time or asking for the weather, it will turn on the TV and answer you there. Even if you just ask it a question you want the answer to, it's going to turn on your TV. The only thing I've discovered that it doesn't turn on the TV for is a smart home command. So I'll demonstrate that first. And I'm doing this demonstration with TalkBack turned on. Even though the TV's off, TalkBack is turned on, just so you can see the lovely experience it provides. Okay.
Music volume set to 68%.
Set the thermostat to 74.
All right, setting the thermostat to 74 degrees.
Music.
So, as you can see, that's the best experience you're going to get, unless you leave TalkBack turned off. But the good thing is it did not turn on the television. If you ask it something simple like the weather, this is what's going to happen. Okay.
Music volume set to 68%.
What's the weather?
Right now in Chesapeake. Today,
Because it's turning on the TV.
then a low of 59.
So as you heard, the sound is going back and forth between the TV speakers and the speaker on the device. So not a beautiful experience. And what's happened is it's put the forecast on the TV. And the reason it was cutting out like that is because it kept trying to play the output on the TV, which was not yet fully turned on, so it just kept cutting out. I'm going to turn the TV off. Now I'm going to show you what happens when you ask for a podcast. Okay. Play Blind Android Users podcast.
All right, playing Blind Android Users podcast on Spotify.
9:11 a.m.
Yes. was like 60
So
whatever. And now, believe it or not,
TV is
it's
on.
been raining
If I press the center button, that'll pause it.
since morning.
Spotify cast receiver 5.37.192.181.6 web view.
If I press left and right on the D-pad, that'll skip through it.
You should send all the chili and the rain to
I
Mumbai.
think.
Cover art. Graphic.
Yeah, I think I
Episode
should
Okay,
download some
maybe
of that
not.
stuff.
It's just
Android Users
adjusting the
Podcast.
focus.
Playing from show. Blind Android Users Podcast. 0 out.
And now, the announcement segment.
And now I'm trying
This
to
is a
figure out how to
19
pause
minutes.
it.
Dedicated to things we want you to be in the know.
No next default.
And now for this
No
week's
next default.
episode, here's your announcement.
0 hours 5 minutes. 1 hour 19 minutes. 0 hours.
Let's try
Let's
it.
now turn up.
Microphone is recording.
Pause.
Google. Chromecast built in. Spotify cast receiver 5.37.192.181.6 web view.
That paused
Microphone stopped recording.
it. And as you can see, as I'm about to explain to you, this isn't actually Spotify. It's put up the cast interface. So this interface is going to be what's on the screen. There's usually no controls to interact with or anything, and it depends on the app. Even if you cast to the speaker from your phone, it won't play it on the speaker. The speaker will turn on the TV and do the same exact thing that just happened now. Another thing, and I don't know if this happens on every Google TV because I don't use Google TV, but when you press and hold the microphone to say something, or you say, okay, G, to wake it up, it tells you the microphone is listening. TalkBack yells that out. And then it again tells you when it's closed. So for example,
Microphone is recording.
go to the home
Google.
screen.
Home. Netflix. Microphone stopped recording.
And I have not figured any way to get this to stop. I was hoping it was just a toast notification, but apparently not, because I went into the settings for the Google app and blocked notifications, and it still does it. So I don't think there's any way around it. Now that we got that garbage out of the way, let's explore the interface a little bit. So I'm on the home screen now. And you can get here by pressing the home button, which is the middle button, or the center button, I should say, right below the directional pad. And there are tabs at the top. The first is the For You tab, then
Live button. Apps button. Library button.
and I'm clicking this close to the microphone so you could hopefully hear when I press the button and when it actually responds.
Search with Google Assistant. Open quick settings panel.
And that's everything across the top.
Search with Google Assistant. Library button. Apps button. Live button. For You button.
And for you, I'm going to just show you a little bit of what's on here.
Feature row.
This seems to be ads. Of course, they call it featured. You can swipe right to go through these.
Classic Doctor Who. Get lost in time and space with the first 7. New season. Doctor Who. 15th Doctor and Ruby Sunday time. Just added. The Beatles. Let It Be. Restored doc captures Beatles final recording sessions. Watch on Disney Plus.
All right, going down.
OJ. Simpson. Blood, Lies and Murder. Peacock. Content rating. TV 14. 2023 present. Tom Lang, the LAPD lead detective on the OJ
Now, it didn't tell me
Simpson
what...
double murder case. Discusses evidence that was left out of trial by the prosecution. A look at Tom Lang's personal 450-page journal and photos and videos from first-hand
Okay.
participants.
I don't know how to
unsettling,
stop
and
it.
tragic.
And we go... I don't know what row this is. It doesn't tell you the heading of it.
Netflix.
Going down again, these are apps. This is a row of apps.
Prime Video. Disney Plus. Hulu. YouTube.
But there's an apps tab at the top, which would be a quicker way to get here. Going down.
The Lion Guard. Disney Plus S1 F8 Kupatana Celebration. Resume now.
So, my son was watching this morning, so this is obviously the continue watching row. Although, again, it's not labeled, or it doesn't tell me what it is. So I'm going to hit home to go back up to the tabs at the top. Even though it didn't say it, I'm on the For You tab. Moving to the right.
Live button.
Show you the Live tab.
Star Trek, Voyager, Pluto TV, Star Trek Voyager, TVPG S77. Live,
Again, ads.
Recents, 5 channels.
Then there's
Google TV, 125 channels.
recent section. And what this is all the free online TV services like Pluto TV, Google TV's own service, Tubi, stuff like that. It's going to recommend things here. And if you don't have the app installed, it's going to ask you to install it. So I guess this is just a collection of all the free stuff you can watch without having to have a subscription.
Popular, 25 channels. Movies, 67 channels.
Let's just go into here to see
Nerd.
what it's like.
Nerd. Today, 7:45 to 9:45 a.m. PG-13, USA 2 hour.
So these are
Industrious
movies.
High School Senior Vito Momiko, Emma. Jersey Girl. Today, 8:30 to 10:45 a.m.
These are movies that are...
Pluto TV icons, unfavorite.
Sorry. I'm just trying to get it to stop. These are movies that are on right now. And like I said, if you don't have the app, it'll send you to the Play Store to download it. You can also get to this live tab by pressing the TV button, which is to the right of the home button on the remote. Going back up to the top, I'm gonna actually hit that TV button because it'll take me
Live button.
back up to the top, and I'm on the live tab. I'm going to the right.
Apps button.
This is where I usually go because I just want to get to whatever app.
Crunchyroll.
Of course, the first row is going to be ads because this is Google TV. But then below that
Disney Plus.
is the actual apps you have installed. And I'll demonstrate a few of these. Let me see. I'm going to show you Google's live TV,
Hulu. YouTube.
free TV.
Free channels from Google TV.
That's what it's called.
NCIS. New Orleans. Ion TV 14. 40 minutes left.
Say no more to this chore with gutter guards by
High player
Miles
controls.
Roofing.
High
A
player controls.
surprisingly
High
affordable
player
Okay, good.
controls. High player controls.
This is what I wanted to
High player
show you.
controls. High player controls. High player controls.
Anytime
High player controls. High player controls.
I'm pressing
High player
to
controls.
try to get out of
High
this,
player controls.
all the directions.
High player controls. High player
Nothing's
controls.
happening.
High player controls. High player.
If I
Republic
press
of Royal. Ion
select,
Plus TV 14. 39 minutes
it
left.
will bring up the guide.
I am he, and he is me.
But when the guide goes away,
Free channels from Google TV.
it goes back to hide player controls, hide player controls. It just says it over and over. That's the ad experience. So when you're watching free TV by Google and you have TalkBack enabled, anytime there's an ad on the screen, it's going to do that, what you just heard. When the show is on, it's fine. If you bring up the guide in front of the commercial, it will be fine. But if you're watching TV and it goes to a commercial break, that's what you're going to hear. So, again, not a polished experience, but something I had to demonstrate. Now, I'm sorry if the speech rate is too fast for you, but I just can't deal with it any slower than what it is. But I'm going to go to... So the top right button on the remote is a favorites button. And I've assigned that to my TV app, which is called Channels DVR. So I'm just going to show you my
Channels
guide
DVR. The 700 Club.
and what it's like to...
The 743.1.
So here's the channels.
6,104.
Just to show you
6,140.
how it's like to browse,
6,141.
the speed of it.
6,143.
And the problem with TalkBack, one of the problems with TalkBack is
6,144.
that you can't press and hold. If you press and hold a key, nothing happens. So you can't scroll
6,147.
through a lot. Let's turn off TalkBack.
Talkback off.
So this is the experience for a sighted person. If you can hear that pop sound. Much more responsive, and you can press and hold to scroll a long list of channels. So if you have 100 channels, you don't have to press the button 100 times to get to what you want. Turning talkback on again.
Talkback on. Held back and down buttons. Talkback turned on. Channels DVR. 6147.
Okay. I'm going to demonstrate a few apps now. I'm going to start with YouTube.
YouTube. Lightning McQueen's Beach Race Competition. Cars Daredevil Garage. Pixar Cars. 5 minutes, 56 seconds.
So this is a little louder because it does not respect the... I've customized TalkBack's speech volume and made it lower, but it still plays it at the regular volume. It does still play it at my speech rate I set though, so I guess that's a good thing. Just to show
Bedtime routine with read aloud. At Red's. I Can Do Hard Things. Doggyland Kids songs and nursery rhymes. Shows. Row. Memorable Mother's Day muffins. The Bumble Nuns cartoons. Learning. Row. Animals. Little engine locomotive. For you. Button.
So that was basically YouTube Kids because I was logged into my son's account, but YouTube is the same. Now I will demonstrate Disney Plus, which is probably one of the best apps I've come across.
Disney Plus. On the Who's Watching screen, select a profile to log into. Edit profiles. On the home screen. Doctor Who, Disney Plus original, new episode every Friday. Select for details on this title. Disney, window Disney Plus.
Just gonna select something.
Animals and nature. Secrets of the Octopus.
So as you can see, it did read the heading, and then I went down so I know what section I'm in. Going in here.
On the details screen, continue.
You can press up to read the description.
You have 6 minutes remaining. Explore the extraordinary intelligence of the octopus mind.
Go back down.
You have 6 minutes. Continue.
Go to the right.
Restart.
Restart.
Trailer. Select to add this title to your watch list.
So as you can see, this is not a bad experience.
Trailer.
And I'll just confirm audio description does work in Disney Plus. Now I'm going to open Netflix.
Microphone is recording. Google.
Open Netflix.
Opening
Microphone stop recording.
Netflix.
Netflix.
Excuse the cat. I think he's fighting with the cat outside through the glass door. Now I'm not hearing anything in Netflix. This is a live demonstration. I'm going to choose my profile. Let's see if once we're in, something happens.
Dearest reader, it has been said that
Mr. DeGray.
Okay, so there's no speech at all.
Mr.
So
Looks like the gang's all here.
going home.
And you must be the mother of the...
Home.
Because there was no speech, I'll have to describe the experience I had when it was working for some reason. And that is that Netflix, it reads everything, but you have to let it finish reading anything. So if you move the focus, it's not going to read what you're on until it finishes reading. So if you select, for example, a show, it'll open up that show and you'll be on the play button, but it won't say play button. It'll read you the whole description of the show and then say play button. If you start moving the cursor around, like say you move from play to add to favorites, or I don't know the buttons, but let's say you moved it around, then you would still have to listen to the description, and then it would tell you the play button, add to favorites, play button, add to favorites. So say you were moving back and forth just to try to hear something, it would just add all of that to the queue of what's currently being read. So it's a very slow experience to get where you want, but I will confirm audio description also works in Netflix. Another app I tried that was not accessible at all is Peacock. The buttons were unlabeled and TalkBack would not, even though this is technically TalkBack 14.0, it would not try to detect the icons or text in the images, even though they were unlabeled. And I tried to log in, and Peacock has its own keyboard in which none of the letters are labeled. So it's just a keyboard full of unlabeled buttons. And that's the only way to sign into it. So that app's not usable. I'm going to show you the Hulu experience. This is funny.
Microphone is recording. Google.
Open Hulu.
Microphone.
Opening
Google Assistant.
Hulu for Android TV.
Hulu. Welcome. TalkBack doesn't work with the Hulu app. To use Hulu text-to-speech, please turn off TalkBack in your device's accessibility settings. Text-to-speech will be enabled automatically when you return to Hulu. For more info, go to hulu.tv/AndroidTV. Quit button. 1 of 1.
So, as you heard, you have to try to go into Hulu. They're going to tell you, no, turn off your screen reader. Because that's what you love to do.
Home.
As someone blind, just turn off your screen reader, right? So let's do that.
Feature. Row. TalkBack off.
Then let's, using voice command, because it's the only way I know how, without the screen reader, let's open it back up. Open Hulu.
Opening
Home. Spotlight. Row. 1 of 36. Eileen. New on Hulu. Rated R Thriller 2023. Play. Button. 1 of 2. Eileen. Select to begin playback. Move horizontally for more options. Based on the best-selling book, young secretary Eileen becomes enchanted by the glamorous new counselor at the prison where she works. Their budding friendship takes a twisted turn when Rebecca reveals a dark secret, throwing Eileen onto a sinister path.
And now once you're in here,
Details. Button. 2 of 2. Eileen. Select for more details. Move horizontally for more options. Based on the best-selling book, young secretary Eileen becomes enchanted by the
It's
glamorous
not
new
a bad
counselor. Play.
experience.
Button. 1 of 2. Eileen. So TV for you. Row. 2 of 36. Shogun. On Hulu original series. Movies for you. Row. 3 of 36. Where the Crawdads Sing. New on Hulu. Rated
so
PG.
it tells you the
Dub
row.
Dragon Ball Super. Brawly. For anime, action
you
adventure
change
fans.
the row.
Where the Crawdads Sing. New on Hulu. Rated
Just go
PG-13
again
drama.
here.
Thriller 20. Where the Crawdads Sing. Watch movie Where the Crawdads Sing 2 hours 5 minutes. Button. 4 of 4. Watch trailer Where the Crawdads Sing. Trailer. Press select button to add to my stuff.
Navigation
button. 2
is
of
pretty
4.
quick.
Watch trailer Where the Crawdads Sing. Watch movie Where the Crawdads Sing 2 hours 5 minutes.
Going back.
Home. Movies for you. Row. 3 of 36. Bingeable TV. Row. 4 of 36. Spotlight. Row. 5 of 36.
Just going through the
Missing persons
rows.
unit. Top 15 today. Row. 6 of 36. American Eye. ABC 2020. On
So
ABC
as you
News.
can see,
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
it's
Watch movie. Rated PG-13. Science
going
fiction.
back
Action
home
2014.
just to stop
Button.
it.
3 of 9. Select for more details. Move horizontally to select other items in this collection.
Okay, so now I'm back on the home screen. So Hulu's not a bad experience as long as you don't mind having to turn off TalkBack to go into it and then turning it back on when you're out of it. So I'm going to turn it back on.
TalkBack on. Held back and down buttons. TalkBack turned on. Home.
Let's try a couple more apps.
Microphone is recording. Google.
Apple TV.
Microphone stopped recording.
Opening
Apple TV.
Again, this is hit or miss because this app was working earlier. But like Netflix, it's not working now. So that was
Sidebar. Selected. Home. Button. 3 of 7.
okay, so the sidebar is working. Let's go back out. Let's try it. Sidebar.
Sidebar. Selected. Home. Button. 3 of 7. Home. Top chart. MLS season pass.
Okay,
Get
so
20
once I selected home,
Top
in
chart.
the
Apple TV Plus. Dark Matter.
sidebar
Root.
now,
Comedy. 2 of 25.
this is working.
Sugar. Drama. 3 of 25.
Let's try Max.
Microphone is record.
Open Max.
Google.
Opening Max
Microphone stopped recording. Max. Unlabeled. Max Home. The SpongeBob SquarePants movie. Go to movie. Button. 1 of 6. Rated. P. Blippi Wonders. Go to series. Button. 2 of 6. Rated. TV-Y. 3 seasons. Blippi Wonders is. Craig Before the Creek. Go to movie. Button. 3 of 6.
if
Rated.
this does work.
Craig Before the Creek. Watch Craig Before. You may also like selected. Tab. 1 of 1. Navigate down to browse. You may also like.
So this is a pretty good experience in Max.
Craig of the Creek button. 1 of 30. Press and hold to add to my.
Hit another one. And Apple TV.
Craig of the Creek. Watch Craig of the Creek season 1 episode 1. Button. 1 of 2. Navigate right for other actions. Navigate up or down for more. The main menu is on the left edge of the page.
Apple TV and Max do both support audio description. You have to go turn them on, but the player is accessible enough to figure it out. I'll show you Amazon Prime next because this is clunky.
Microphone is recording. Google.
Open Prime Video.
Google.
Opening Prime Video.
Prime Video. Who's watching? Create up to additional profiles for your Prime Video account. Press select to choose. Current profile, John. Button. 1 of 3. American Fiction, number 5 in the US. Prime, banner 1 of 10. Press and hold select for more options. Move right to see more banners. Move left to navigate to the main menu. Press select to see details. Move down to browse lists.
So as you can
Something
see...
in the Water, available to rent or buy. Banner 2 of 10.
Alright, let me get off of this.
Browse by all content. Button 1 of 4. Move right for more browse options. Press select to choose. Move up and down to browse lists.
So as you can tell, they have put effort into it because it knows I'm using a screen reader and it's telling me how to navigate every single time as if I've forgotten. And I'm just going to show you what it's like to try to navigate, because for whatever reason, it just doesn't work. Let's see.
Continue watching. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I'm gonna go
Mutant
to
Mayhem. 1 of 10. Prime.
Ninja Turtles.
Resume. Button. 1 of 8. Move left or right or up for options. Move down for seasons, episodes, and more. Press back to exit.
So just simple navigation. I'm going to move right.
More purchase options. Button. 2 of 8.
Going to move right again.
Start over. Button. 3 of 8.
Again. It didn't do anything. It's like it's frozen. And I know there's things to the right of it. Not doing anything. I'm going to press left. It clicked, but nothing happened. The focus did not move. So this is what happens during navigation. It just
Trailer. Button. 4 of 8.
freezes.
Add to
Now
watch
it's
list.
working
Button.
again.
5 of 8.
And this happens throughout the entire app with TalkBack. So it's hard to get anything playing, let alone, I'm going to assume, because in the description it says it has audio description, I'm going to assume it has audio description, but because of this navigation issue, I have not been able to actually get to the settings during playback to change my language to audio description. So I haven't been able to turn it on because of the navigation of this app. So as you can see, every app behaves differently. Some are totally inaccessible. Some make you turn off TalkBack but work great when you go into it without TalkBack. Some decide to play at their own volume even though you've set TalkBack to a different volume. Some have navigation issues. Some have the issue where Netflix has to read the entire thing before it lets you go to the next item. So I haven't really done much playback because I wanted to avoid copyright issues. But the playback experience when using Google Assistant is not great. So I thought one of the great features of this thing having a speaker built into it is that you could use voice controls, right? So if you're watching something and you say, okay, G, what happens is what you've experienced previously in this demonstration. The Google app will start making TalkBack yell out that the mic is open, and that's kind of all the speaker hears because the speakers, at least I have my speaker right next to the TV. So if I'm trying to talk to it from across the room and it's yelling at itself, it just gets confused and it rarely does the right thing. And anytime you ask it to do something during playback, it stops playback. So if I'm watching something and I say, turn off the lights, it'll say, okay, turning off the lights, and then the lights turn off, and then I'm stuck on the Google Assistant screen, and I have to back out of it I have to find the remote to back out of it to continue watching what I was watching. And anything you ask it, that's the experience. Even if you just want to raise the volume. You're watching something and you say, okay, G, raise the volume. If it hears you correctly and it raises the volume, it says, okay, raising the volume, and then you're stuck on the Google Assistant screen. You have to find the remote to back out of it. So the hands-free experience did not exactly work the way I thought it would. You know, I don't sugarcoat things. I wanted you to see what the experience was like, and I did not go out of my way to break things. I just tried to use it how anybody would try to use it. And this is my experience. This is not a knock on the device. I have had all of these issues, or most of these issues for sure, if not all of these issues, on other Android TV devices, my NVIDIA Shield, my Google TV, or Chromecast with Google TV. So this is a Google TV problem or Android TV problem, and more specifically a TalkBack problem, because when you turn TalkBack off, everything works great. It flies through the OS. This thing is getting great reviews from sighted people because it's completely capable for a streaming device, but TalkBack is just so clunky and resource intensive when it doesn't need to be, that it's a bad experience in my opinion. So if you like Android TV, this is an Android TV device and it behaves how I expected it to. And for what you get for the price compared to Chromecast with Google TV, I think it's a better buy. So I'll stop talking now and end this demonstration. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, John, for that. And unfortunately, you had to return that baby. Baby went back home to mama. And of course, mamas never reject their babies. They always take them back. So I'm glad they took her back. Are you missing the ONN, John?
No, I don't miss it. If I did, I have a Chromecast with Google TV sitting in a drawer somewhere that I could always dust off if I felt compelled, but I don't feel compelled.
What a papa. You're not missing that baby. You send back home to mama. That's fine. But yeah, no, seriously though, I kind of like the device in some ways and all of that. It's so reminiscent of the Google TV. It's just the same thing as the Chromecast from Google.
Yeah, the device is good. TalkBack is the problem. I just hate TalkBack on Android TV. It's bad. It's it goes to show, like, when the best experience is like the Hulu app, for example, in that demonstration, it felt ridiculous for an app to tell you turn off your screen reader and then come back. Like, you should never tell a blind user to turn off the screen reader and come back. But after you do that, it actually is a good experience. Like, it works better without TalkBack, and that's sad. TalkBack has a lot of room for improvement on Android TV.
Now, so this is a problem that we have. I wish that all these developers or companies stop trying to reinvent the wheel. We have the screen reader out there. Please just make your stuff compatible with the screen reader instead of trying to reinvent things and try to do your own and telling me to, turn off TalkBack. Sony does that too. It's kind of so annoying to me. And
yeah, but also
I don't like that.
Make TalkBack work first, and then we can demand these people to be compatible with TalkBack, because it's bad.
But we should all be on one page, because this is so confusing. It's not a good experience with these Google TV and Android TVs, with everyone trying to do their own thing. It's just the end user kind of gets frustrated when it's all said and done.
Yeah, it does make it worse.